Yesterday, Aaron Judge hit the longest home run of the season, but someone on the Astros went to the third deck. Tons of Angels fans were basically locked out of the game yesterday, and maybe it was a good thing considering the score. The A's, they might be willing to part with their superstar closer, Mason Miller, and at the end of today's recap, we're going to talk about the most surprising players in all of baseball to start 2024. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. We recap every single game, every single day, so join the team, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets, and right now on Underdog Fantasy, new users who use my code Fuzzy get up to a $250 bonus credit by using code Fuzzy. It's that easy. All right, so before we even show the highlights of the Royals at the Angels, fans were stuck outside the park into the third and fourth innings. The Angels apparently only had one working scanner to allow people in, and once they were finally in, they saw Bobby Witt Jr. making insane plays in foul territory. His defensive turnaround since his rookie season is just insane. The first two runs that Kansas City scored came on one swing off the bat of Dairon Blanco. That's his first of the season. Vinny Pasquantino also hit a two-run home run, but his went 442 feet. That's the longest home run of his entire career. He's hitting .315 with 16 extra base hits and 25 RBIs over his last 27 games. He also has more walks than strikeouts over that stretch. Reed Detmers, he's been falling off the last 2 weeks. Vinny, he grabbed his third RBI on a sac fly, and Salvi, he pushed it to a 6th spot off of Reed. Salvi's on pace for 140 RBIs, by the way. Michael Garcia, his third hit of the night came with 2 on, so his batting average with runners in scoring position rose to .333. Zach Neto dropped a double play, so it's 9-0 now after Michael Massey put that one in play, and Garrett Hampson, his double got it to 10 runs. The Angels are 10 games under 500. What is going on with them? All right, so it's not like the White Sox are good or anything, but they've been a lot better since Tommy Pham joined the squad. He doubles, and then Andrew Vaughn hit the gap as well, so the Sox are up 1-0, and they go up 2 after a Paul DeJong single. Paul then stole second for his first bag of the year. He put himself in scoring position for Tommy Pham, and this dude is for sure going to get traded. Remember, he's on a 1-year deal. He's not really getting paid anything. And speaking of not getting anything, the Guardians could not get anything going off of Eric Fetty. His ERA dropped to 3 after holding Cleveland scoreless through 6, but he ran out of gas quickly. Naylor, he singled on a ball on his eyebrows, and then 2 consecutive singles after that, loaded the bases with nobody out. Fetty was yanked, so now rookie Jordan Leaser, he's tasked with a nobody out bases loaded situation. He strikes out Bo Naylor, then he gets Tyler Freeman, and the magic trick is complete. The rookie saves Fetty shutout, and Eric, he's obviously hyped up in the dugout. John Brebbia apparently wanted to give myself and other Cleveland fans some hope because he let J-Ram and Josh Naylor go back-to-back. I was thinking, here we go, but Manzardo, he squibbed it in the 9th. It's over. So because we just talked about Tommy Pham pretty much 100% getting traded before the deadline, Mason Miller trade talks are heating up. This dude has 33 strikeouts in 16 innings. His clips always go viral on social media. He is one of those Dellin Betances type relief pitchers where he's a massive human. Mason Miller is 6'5". It almost feels like you're watching Titans play baseball. It almost doesn't seem like real life. But according to the rumors, playoff teams are hounding the A's right now to try and acquire Mason Miller, and the packages are looking pretty hefty. I'm hearing the Phillies might be in it, the Orioles might be in it. A lot of teams that need that lockdown closer. Even though Hoffman's good, Kimbrel can be good, those teams could really use a Mason Miller, and they have the capital in terms of prospects to get the deal done. So the Royals won, Cleveland lost, so Minnesota would be remiss if they did not get a W versus Seattle, and well, they didn't just get a W, they embarrassed the Mariners. Julian, he took a 4-pitch walk, and then he stole second like 3 seconds later. He got on third after a rocket single from Trevor Larnach, and Kepler, he secured an 11-game hit streak on that RBI single. Manuel Margot has been one of the worst players in baseball, so hopefully his horde start is finally starting to turn around. He clears the bases. That's his biggest swing by far as a Twin. Santana had an RBI single. It's now 5-0. The Twins, they were just feeling themselves. I mean, look at that. Look, the ball hit Jose Miranda's glove at third base, and it deflected directly to Willie Castro. They make the play. Ryan Jeffers, my goodness, bro. 8 home runs and 28 RBIs. Minnesota, they're now at 7 after Julian singled, and Jeffers, he drove in his 29th RBI on a sac fly. Margot, he reached at a ball that was 11 feet off the plate, but he got an RBI ground out of it. And all of this was for Pablo Lopez, so you're not winning this game. He had 10 punch outs, just 1 run allowed over 6 1/3, and it was Pablo Lopez day at the ballpark, so I'm glad that he dominated. Kepler's third jack of the year got the Minnesota Twins into the double-digit club. They're now at 23 wins, and they're tied with the Royals at 1.5 games back of the Guardians. All right, enough messing around. Let's see some large men swinging big sticks. Oh my God, pause. We know that Yordan Alvarez Alvarez is huge, but he's not even the biggest man on the field. John Singleton, he's also a large man. He went to the third deck. That's like Barry Bonds in the old Yankee Stadium type of power right there. 115 off the bat. Even that impressed Yordan Alvarez. Yainer Diaz, he scorched a double over Verdugo. Shout out to Verdugo for making it a close play, but the Astros, they load them up. Stroh, he did a nice job to get out of that jam though. Tucker, he struck out. Yordan popped up. Now it's the Yankees' turn to flex their muscles after Oswaldo Cabrera got some help from Blanco to reach first. Volpe, he sent one to the short porch. That's his 5th home run. By the way, this ball would have left in 4 out of 30 ballparks, so it's not a true short porch special where it only leaves at Yankee Stadium. It was 4 out of 30. The Yankees are right back in it, but Yordan, he wanted to add some insurance runs. He swatted a double, and look who clutched up again. Jeremy Pena is hitting .333 with 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, but defensively, he's got -5 DRS and -4 outs above average. It doesn't make any sense. He's breaking out with the bat, but he's regressed significantly on the defensive side of things. You know who can't say that? Aaron Judge. He's playing solid defense, and he just erased the baseball from existence. The dude literally Thanos snapped for his 9th home run. He tied Mike Trout for the longest home run of anyone this year. Judge now has 10 extra base hits and 11 RBIs and a 1.167 OPS over his last 15 games. Houston, they're threatening again, but Ron Marinaccio, he got Altuve guessing, and then Yordan on the whiff. New York has all the momentum now. Glaber, he singled to kickstart the 9th. Singleton, he then saved Josh Hader's you-know-what. He scooped it to nab John Birdie. It would have been a swinging bunt, so now it's up to the Yankee fan for life, the Jersey kid, Anthony Volpe. 98 upstairs is just a little bit too fast. Josh Hader now has 4 saves. Jock Peterson brought his boomstick down to Cincinnati. He somehow turned on a 98 fastball up and in to literally tomahawk a pitch out. Slade Cinconi, he was dicing over 4 2/3, but Jamier, he finally figured it out. He and Jock both have 4 home runs on the year. Hunter Green, he allowed a few runners to get on before getting pulled, and Nick Martinez, he could not bail out his starting pitcher. It seems like the Reds relievers have been terrible lately at leaving runners stranded. They're just allowing runs left and right. Lourdes doubled in the go-ahead. The former Red, Eugenio Suarez, lofted a sac fly to score Walker, and then Walker, he dropped in a 2-out RBI in the 7th to make it 4-1 Arizona. Ellie, he was having a pretty good game up to this point. He got on twice and stole his 22nd bag. Now he has 2 base hits after this RBI single. Of course, he stole second for his 23rd stolen base, so the Spencer Steer single is going to tie it up because Ellie's speed is quite literally a cheat code. He's one of like 3 or 4 players that would even attempt scoring on that play. This next guy is one of them. Corbin is Ellie fast, and man, it is so nice to see him locked in and driving in runs on barreled up baseballs. Arizona, they're up 1 after 7.5. Cincy, they're trying to manufacture a run. They put Stuart Fairchild in motion, but Stuart had no idea where the ball was because Kevin Newman deked him out. So Corbin, he's going to get a free double play again. Newman, he deked him with the fake tag. Paul Sewald, he had a clean 1-2-3 9th inning for his first save, and the Diamondbacks, they send the Reds to, oh my God, 8 games in a row they've lost. So if the Brewers win this next game, the Reds will be 6 games back of first place. William Contreras, he avoided a huge double play by dodging the glove of Arenado. So he's on third now with 2 outs. Sonny Gray, he spiked it. So William, he scores for the game's first run. Rhys Hoskins then sent one the other way for a 2-run Oppo Taco. So that botched tag from Arenado really cost this pitcher. Jake Bauers, he tattooed a home run as well. He's got 3. Lars, he found a barrel as well, but Sonny Gray, he kept getting torched by the Brewers. Joey Ortiz, the rookie, he came on over in that Corbin Burns trade. He has 3 home runs on the year now. Tobias Myers, he had 6 strikeouts over 4 shutout, but he loaded the bases in the 5th with nobody out. Jared Koenig, he's going to try and pull a Houdini. Lars Nootbaar, that's a dribbler for the first out. Arenado, he popped up in foul territory, and he did it. He pulled a rabbit out of his hat. Bases loaded, nobody outs. He got 3 consecutive outs. Milwaukee got it going again. Yelich, he laid down RBI triple. He's back in the lineup, and he looked healthy, turning on the Jets. And speaking of turning on the Jets, Bryce Terang, he singled, then he stole his 15th bag. He's now stolen 32 bags in a row without getting caught dating back to last year. Terang, he manufactures another run as he scores on a William Contreras single. William now has 30 RBIs and a .340 batting average as a catcher. The Brewers win easy, and not to spoil it, screw it, I'll spoil it. Colorado, they basically did the same thing to the Giants. They ambushed Keaton Winn and the Giants after Conforto hit his 7th home run, so I wanted to show that for Giants fans. Ezekiel Tovar, he started the Colorado Avalanche. God, I'm so good at puns. After that triple, McMahon singled home Tovar. McMahon then ran around 3 bases because Elias Diaz grabbed an RBI extra base hit. Diaz, he then scored on a Sean Bouchard single, and Brendan Rodgers made it 5 consecutive hits for the Rockies. Brenton Doyle, he's up now, and he's doing some serious damage this year. Both him and Pena are having similar seasons where they're breaking out with the bat, but their defense has slipped a little bit. I mean, Brenton Doyle went 430 for a 3-run home run. He's got 14 extra base hits and 4 stolen bases. Colorado, they were not done. Chuck Nasty, he legged out their second triple of the game, and Tovar drove him home. Tovar is only 22 years old, by the way. Chuck Nasty collected 2 more RBIs between the 6th and the 8th. He passes Nolan Arenado, by the way, for 4th all-time in RBIs by a Rocky. Charlie Blackmon and Tovar were both a home run away from the cycle, and big shout out to Cal Quantrill, by the way. 6 innings, just that 1 home run to Michael Conforto. He now owns a 2.3 ERA over his last 5 starts, and that includes a 6-run game versus the Astros. So he's been super solid lately. So those were the only games from yesterday. I know it was a shorter recap, and every time that happens, we like to do an update on the standings and the stat leaders across baseball. So if we take a look at the AL East, the Orioles, they're 7-3 over their last 10, so they're a half game ahead of the Yankees for first place, but they're both tied for a plus 53 run differential. The Red Sox have a plus 34 run differential because their pitching has been insane. The Rays, they're 19-19. The Blue Jays, they're 17-20, but hey, they won their last game. The AL Central is not a huge dumpster fire like it was the last few years, aside from the Chicago White Sox, obviously, but they did beat the Guardians yesterday. So because the Twins and the Royals both won, they gained a game. They're both tied for second place at 1.5 game back. But look at the Royals. They have a plus 52 run differential. The AL West, we have the Rangers at 1.5 game ahead of the Mariners. The Mariners were in first place just a few days ago, but because the Rangers have gone 7-3 over their last 10 and the Mariners have gone 5-5, they've slipped to second place. The A's, they're in third place. The Angels and the Astros, I mean, geez, what's going on with those two squads? In the NL side of things, we have the NL East. The Phillies are 2 games ahead of the Braves. The Phillies have been cooking everyone. They've tied the Royals for, I think, second. Oh, wait. So the Dodgers, we'll just spoil it right now. The Dodgers are in first place in terms of run differential. They've outscored their opponents by 74. They have the biggest division lead in baseball at 6.5 games. The Diamondbacks have won 4 in a row, so they're trying to make a comeback. The Giants and the Rockies, I don't know about them for the rest of the season. But like we talked about, the Dodgers are at plus 74. The Phillies are at plus 52, tied with the Royals. And then at the very top, like we talked about, the Orioles and the Yankees are at plus 53. But just to finish out the standings, so we have the Phillies and the Braves kind of neck and neck in the NL East. I think that's how it's going to stay. The NL Central is pretty tight, just like the AL Central. The Brewers are just a half game up after the Cubs got beat a few days ago, so they're both at 22 wins. The Pirates, they're trying to make a comeback. They're calling up Paul Skeens. The Reds, they're trying to get healthy, and the Cardinals, I mean, they've lost 5 games in a row. So between the Reds and the Cardinals, they've lost a combined 13 games in a row. Before we talk about the most surprising players in baseball, let's talk about the best players in baseball, the stat leaders across the game. So we can see that Ohtani and Steven Kwan, they are the tops in their leagues in terms of batting average. Ohtani's hitting 355. Kwan, before that hammy injury, he was hitting 353. Look at Alec Boehm hitting 346. We might be talking about him for the most surprising player. Pitching leaders, we have Glasnow and Ranger Suarez both tied at 6 wins. You have Lugo, Cease, Chris Sale, I think a bunch of other guys tied at 5 wins. Home runs, Marcell Ozuna is the home run leader right now. He has been an absolute demon since the second half of last year. You have Tucker, Ohtani, and Gunnar Henderson all tied at 11. Mike Trout hasn't played in a week and a half, and he's still tied for 3rd place. Imanaga is at a 1.08 ERA, so he leads everyone. Reynaldo Lopez has been one of the best signings of the year. He goes to the Braves. He becomes literally prime Charlie Morton. Wheeler, Assad, look at Javier Assad with a 1.66 ERA. So the Cubs staff, now that they have Justin Steele back, they can be dangerous. And Ranger Suarez had that scoreless streak. We have RBIs, of course, it's Marcell Ozuna. You have Soto, Salvi, Alec Boehm. J-Ram is a crazy one because he's not been very good aside from when runners have been on base. So the fact that he's been slumping and still has 31 RBIs is crazy. Finnegan and Suarez, they're both tied for 12 saves. Then you have Clase, Clay Holmes, and Ryan Helsley. Ohtani, he's number 1 in base hits. He's ahead of his own teammate by 1. Mookie Betts has 53. There's Altuve. William Contreras has been a monster this year. He's been a monster since last year as well. Strikeouts, Wheeler and Glasnow are tied at 63. Dylan Cease has been a machine ever since he had that rough debut. I think it was his debut start. Flaherty has 56 strikeouts. We'll talk about him in a second. Stolen bases, Ellie leads everyone by far. He's 8 ahead of Bryce Terang. Ronald, at least the speed is still there with 14 stolen bases. He's tied with Jose Caballero, but the power for some reason has been zapped by Ronald. Bobby's at 13. And then in terms of quality starts, no one really cares about that, but Seth Lugo, he's been quality this year. And now the most surprising players, I'm going to go fairly quick. I'm just going to kind of tip my cap and give some shout outs. Reed Garrett at 31 years old is breaking out. He has 32 strikeouts and 19 innings and has a 0.47 ERA for the Mets. The former top prospect in baseball a decade ago, Jurickson Profar, he's having his best start to a season ever. He's got 6 home runs and a 171 OPS plus. Listen, I thought that Shota Imanaga was going to be good, but a 1.08 ERA in 7 starts, that's insane. We all knew that Salvi was going to rake. He's got 8 home runs. He's on pace for 140 something RBI, something crazy like that. But look at this, his defensive metrics as a catcher, he's now a great framer, which is crazy. He's never been that guy. Jared Jones has kind of taken the league by storm. He has 52 strikeouts and 41 innings and a 2.63 ERA as a rookie. We talked about Bryce Terang's speed already, but check this out. He's hitting 314 with a 380 on base and a 135 OPS plus. So he's very, very good. Jack Flaherty does have a 3.86 ERA, so that's not crazy, but look at the strikeout numbers. 56 strikeouts in 42 innings. I did not see that coming. Speaking of did not see this coming, what is Alec Boehm doing? A 1.5 WAR already with 4 home runs, a 346 batting average, and 32 RBIs. I've always really liked Tanner Houck's slider and fastball combination, but I didn't think that he could go 6-7 innings often. He's been doing that almost every single start. He's got a 1.99 ERA. Look at Abraham Toro kind of finally breaking out. He's got a 1.1 WAR with 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, and a 132 OPS plus for the A's. Ben Lively has essentially saved the Guardians season because Bieber went down and Lively stepped in for a 2.6 ERA in his first 5 starts. That's crazy. You might be wondering, Fuzzy, why are you showing us Mike Tauchman? He's hitting 269. Well, he's got 22 runs scored because he has a 402 on base percentage. He's getting on base at a 40% clip. And then last but not least, I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple different guys, but Jordan Westberg is hitting 283 with 6 home runs, 4 stolen bases, and a 142 OPS plus. And the defense, it's been pretty good as well. So that does it for today's recap. I know it was a shorter one, but thank you guys for supporting. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for me. Enjoy the web gems.
And another bullet. Diving stop, win. Gloves, and goes to first and the stretch it.
Check swing. Lynch plays it to second and throws a strike.
Well, this is tapped in front. Here comes Tovar with a crazy play.
And the 0-2. Shallow right, tough play. Julian Larnach. It's going to be Larnach sliding.
Of the order, keep it a 1-run game to right field.